Hola amigos, buenas noches. Hoy os quería hablar de que he intentado rescatar una película que se titula La Casa de los Rothschild. Es una película que trata sobre la familia Rothschild desde el principio, desde el fundador de la Casa Rothschild, de los banqueros Rothschild. Los Rothschild son una saga de banqueros de mucho prestigio, muy famosos y que llegaron a ser los más ricos del mundo. La acción se inicia en Alemania con Amschel Mayer Rothschild, del cual tendría 5 hijos que serían los que continuarían el negocio de banca, el modesto negocio de banca que tuvo al principio. Los 5 hermanos, y también tuvo 5 hijas, o sea que en total el primer Rothschild tenía 10 hijos, 5 varones y 5 mujeres. Esta película que he pretendido rescatar es La Casa de los Rothschild, una película que se rodó en el año 1934 y que estuvo muy censurada. Estuvo censurada prácticamente porque un año antes Adolfo Hitler llegó al poder y todo lo que era lo que fuera de judío pues era excluido, era censurado. Luego, al llegar al año 1940, Adolfo Hitler haría otra película sobre los Rothschild, que esta película no la he encontrado en un sitio, debe estar completamente censurada. Pero bien, esta primera película, rodada en 1934, fue rodada por Hollywood, o sea, los estudios norteamericanos, que está prácticamente en manos de los judíos, porque todos los estudios de Hollywood son de los judíos. Bueno, ¿y por qué rescato esta película? La encontré solo en un solo sitio de YouTube y la he intentado rescatar porque son este tipo de películas que es muy fácil que vuelvan a ser censurados. Por lo tanto, al final del vídeo vais a ver esta película que he intentado recuperar, hecha del año 1934, que describe la historia de los primeros Rothschild. Y la que se rodó por indicaciones del Führer alemán, Adolfo Hitler, no se ha encontrado, no se encuentra en ninguna parte, no la he podido ver. Luego, después de esta película, añado otro trocito de otra película que también hay de los Rothschild, que se ve cómo se había hecho el Rothschild inglés, Nathan Mayer Rothschild, cómo se había convertido de repente en el hombre más rico de Inglaterra. Pero bueno, que os quiero hablar un poco sobre los Rothschild. Pero antes os aclaro que he intentado rescatar esta película por miedo de que vuelva a ser censurado. Y por lo menos aquí queda en uno de los vídeos de mi canal. Los Rothschild. ¿Qué es lo básico que hay que saber de los Rothschild? ¿Qué es lo que interesa saber de los Rothschild? El primer Rothschild, Amschel Mayer Rothschild, pues era un banquero modesto, vivía en el barrio judío de Frankfurt, el gueto judío, porque los judíos en aquella época eran muy marginados. Y era un banquero muy eficaz, muy escrupuloso, muy trabajador, aunque esta manera de trabajar llegó a oídos del príncipe alemán, que era uno de los más ricos de Europa, que le confió la gestión de sus finanzas. Y estas finanzas gestionadas por ese banquero, pues quedaron bien protegidas y además obtenían rendimientos, con lo cual el príncipe estuvo muy contento, a pesar de que Amschel Mayer Rothschild lógicamente les cobraba la correspondiente comisión, pero eso sí, daba muy buenos rendimientos al príncipe alemán, que lo puso bajo su protección. Pero esto no quitaba que los judíos fueran muy perseguidos, y los Rothschild eran judíos, y el pueblo pues los miraba con antipatía, los perseguía, los trataba muy mal, por toda la variedad de razones. Entonces, Amschel Mayer Rothschild intentó educar a sus hijos con los mejores conocimientos, con la mejor educación que tuviera a sus manos, que pudo hacerlo porque tenía ya bastante dinero, bastante pasta. Y les enseñó todos los trucos y todos los secretos de la banca. Y dijo, bueno, a cada uno de sus hijos, pues que abrieran un sucursal del Banco Rothschild en diversos lugares de Europa. Uno se fue a Viena, otro se fue a Nápoles, Italia, otro se fue a Francia, otro se quedó en Alemania, en el banco de origen del padre, y otro se fue a Inglaterra. Entonces les dijo que teníais que estar todos muy unidos. Les dijo lo que cuando uno de los Rothschild, creo que era Salomón Rothschild, que tuvo la sucursal de Viena, la sucursal de Austria, pues el emperador austriaco estaba también muy contento con los servicios del banquero Salomón Rothschild, que lo ennobleció, le dio el título de varón, y luego, claro, todos los demás Rothschild también serían ennoblecidos, que tendrían títulos de varón. El título más bajo de la nobleza, pero bueno, ennoblecidos, eran parte ya de la nobleza. En el escudo de los Rothschild, que Rothschild quiere decir escudo rojo, rojo, shield, escudo rojo, Rothschild quiere decir esto. El lema del escudo era integritas, industria y concordia. ¿Qué significa esto? Significa que los hermanos se tenéis que llevaros todos muy bien, estar muy unidos y ser muy trabajadores. Este es el secreto del éxito de los banqueros Rothschild. Pero bueno, más que esto también es muy importante, estar unidos, llevarse muy bien y ser muy trabajadores. Esto es muy importante, pues como tenían muchos conocimientos y eran los primeros en informarse de todo, toda la información les llegaba primero a ellos. Así podían especular. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? ¿Cómo se comunicaban? Aquella época no era como ahora, que hay ordenadores, hay teléfonos, y la información puede llegar en milésimas de segundo de un extremo al otro del mundo. La información llega en un instante, pero en aquella época la información era, por ejemplo, un correo que llevaba una mochila con las cartas y tenía que ir al trote como un caballo. Pero había otra manera más rápida de hacer llegar los mensajes, que era a través de los vuelos de las palomas. Pues claro, la paloma llevaba en la pata, llevaba una cosa redondita atada a la pata para llevar el mensaje. Claro, la paloma es un animal pequeño y no puede llevar algo que le pese mucho en la pata. Entonces, tenía que hacer un papelito muy pequeño con escribir solo lo indispensable. Entonces, lo que se tenía que escribir no podía ser pues algo normal, pues lo que escribimos normalmente. Tenía que ser algo menos que taquigrafía. Mucho menos que taquigrafía, escrito en clave. Entonces, los Rothschild la información la mandaban así, con muy pocas palabras y en clave. Y de esta manera eran los primeros en recibir la información, porque las palomas enviaban varias palomas, habían amaestrado a varias palomas para llevar la información a una sucursal, a otra, de todo el continente europeo de los Rothschild. Lo tenían bien amaestrada, y por si alguna otra ave, por ejemplo, un águila, pues comía alguna de las palomas de los Rothschild, pues los Rothschild enviaban a la vez varias palomas con el mismo mensaje, y de esta manera los Rothschild sabían que el mensaje era cierto. Además, los Rothschild tenían una amplia red de espías por todas partes, por toda Europa, bien pagados, por supuesto, y bien discretos. La discreción era algo muy importante en los negocios de la banca de Rothschild. Silencio total, discreción total, solo por negocio bancario. Y los espías de los Rothschild eran así, y también tenían sus redes de corrales de palomas para enviar los mensajes de una parte a otra, con las palomas bien amaestradas. Bueno, vamos a poner un ejemplo de cómo se había hecho rico Nathan Mayer Rothschild, que esto es lo que sale en la parte final de esta película, y otro trozo de película que os he puesto, de otra película también rodada en los años 30, que habla sobre los Rothschild y que es muy difícil de conseguir. Aunque ahora recientemente he ido buscando y he podido encontrar la película completa, que quizás la suba en otro momento para que no se pierda también esta película. O sea que en los años 30 hay dos películas rodadas en los años 30 que hablan sobre los Rothschild. Y ahora que el famoso actor Mel Gibson, el actor aquel de Mad Max, el guerrillero de la carretera, de este mundo apocalíptico que sobrevive pues con vehículos, la posición de la gasolina, Mad Max 2 o Mad Max 3 igual. El actor Mel Gibson, el que también hizo La Pasión de Cristo. Con La Pasión de Cristo ganó muchos millones. Y ahora se dice que Mel Gibson, un actor y director de cine que se arriesga mucho, ahora está intentando rodar otra película sobre los Rothschild. Pero bueno, estas películas de los años 30 de los Rothschild estuvieron censuradas mucho tiempo y no es fácil encontrarlas. Y por esto las he intentado rescatar y lo voy a insertar al final del vídeo de los que os estoy hablando. Y la película que hizo rodar Adolfo Hitler, que seguramente debería tener otro punto de vista sobre los Rothschild y sobre los judíos, pues no la ha podido encontrar, y seguramente que nadie la ha visto, porque ha estado completamente censurada y seguramente que algún día saldrá a la luz y la podremos ver. Pero bueno, ahora que os decía, os quería comentar de cómo Nathan Mayer Rothschild, el Rothschild inglés, se había hecho rico. Bueno, en aquella época Napoleón se adueñó de Europa. Ganaba todas las guerras en Europa, las ganó en Egipto, las ganó en Austria, en Auschwitz, las ganó en la batalla de las naciones Leipzig, en Alemania, sí. En varios, en Marengo y en varios lugares de Europa, todas las batallas las ganaba Napoleón. Entonces también quiso invadir Rusia. Lo de Rusia resultó una derrota. Bueno, mientras habían estas guerras, había un bloqueo continental contra Inglaterra. Entonces, de esta manera, como Napoleón tenía poder en toda Europa, llegando incluso hasta España, y a través de España influyendo sobre el resto del imperio español, Inglaterra quedaba bloqueada, lo cual no era bueno ni para su industria ni para su comercio. Mientras Napoleón estaba en poder, los valores de la bolsa en Inglaterra estaban abajo. La bolsa estaba muy abajo porque el comercio, la industria no levantaba cabeza. Entonces los valores de la bolsa inglesa estaban muy abajo. Nathan Mayer Rothschild tenía su negocio de banco. Bien, también tenía compradas unas cuantas acciones de valores ingleses, como lo hacían todos los ricos de la época. Pues bien, con la bolsa baja, compró unos cuantos valores. Bien, Napoleón va a Rusia, sale derrotado y regresa a Francia, y allí hay una conspiración política que la pierde Napoleón y lo mandan a la isla de Elba. La isla de Elba estaba, pues, una isla que hay entre Francia e Italia, o sea, una isla que no estaba muy lejos y así estaba Napoleón. Entonces, cuando esto ocurre, los Borbones regresan al poder con Luis XVIII y ya no hay el bloqueo continental contra Inglaterra, y entonces los valores de la bolsa de Inglaterra vuelven a subir, suben como la espuma. Los valores de Nathan Mayer Rothschild, pues, suben. Y claro, como decía antes, como un sistema de palomas y los espías de los Rothschild, la información le llega a Nathan Mayer Rothschild. Les llega la información de que Napoleón se ha escapado de la isla de Elba, se dirige a Francia y que por el camino los antiguos soldados de Napoleón se le unen a él para llegar a París y tomar otra vez el poder. Llega primero la información a Inglaterra y Nathan Mayer Rothschild sabe que cuando Napoleón vuelva a hacerse como poder, los valores ingleses volverán a caer y Francia volverá a estar en guerra contra Inglaterra. Entonces, los valores que tenía en aquel momento no eran muchos, pero valían mucho porque había subido mucho la bolsa. Nathan Mayer Rothschild los vende casi todos y se reserva unos pocos. Los vende casi todos a precios bien altos. Y entonces todo este dinero de lo vendido en la bolsa lo lleva a su casa, al banco de su casa en Londres. Entonces, pues llega la noticia de que Napoleón se hace como el poder. Entonces, otra vez, los valores en Inglaterra, los valores vuelven a bajar. Y vuelve a haber otra guerra de Napoleón contra Inglaterra y contra los aliados, contra Rusia, contra los alemanes y todo esto. Claro, Napoleón ya está en el poder. En este momento vuelve a haber otra vez guerra. Los valores de la bolsa ingleses han bajado. Bien. Los aliados vuelven a unirse y vuelven a entrar otra vez en guerra contra Napoleón. El escenario de la guerra se traslada a Bélgica, a Waterloo. Y entonces sucede allí, pues, que el ejército de Wellington, los ingleses envían a Wellington y los alemanes envían a Grouchy. Pero los ingleses y los alemanes que tenían que unirse todavía no se han unido. Entonces los franceses de Napoleón aprovechan para atacar a Grouchy, que lo vence. Y entonces, como lo vence, pues bueno, quería decir antes que como se volvía a entrar otra vez en guerra, se preveía que a unirse el duque de Wellington con Grouchy, con los alemanes, los ingleses estaban completamente seguros que iban a ganar la guerra porque tenían una inmensa superioridad numérica. Y entonces los valores de la bolsa en aquellos momentos, cuando ya había la guerra, volvieron a subir otra vez. Todos los ricos comenzaban a comprar otra vez acciones y volvieron a subir. Y entonces Nathan Mayer Rothschild también compró un poquito, pero solo un poquito, y le llega la noticia de que Napoleón ha vencido a Grouchy o a Blücher. Uno era Grouchy y otro. Los dos son del ejército prusiano, el ejército alemán. Y otros los valores de la bolsa vuelven a bajar, porque en Inglaterra creen que la guerra la ha ganado Napoleón. Pero bueno, entonces lo que queda del ejército prusiano que había huido se encuentra con las tropas del duque de Wellington, se unen y entonces adquieren más fuerza. Vuelven a un contraataque y esta vez, como ya tienen más fuerza, consiguen derrotar a Napoleón. Pero bueno, en Inglaterra todavía están pensando que la victoria era de Napoleón. Las palomas de los espías de Nathan Mayer Rothschild le mandan la información a Nathan Mayer Rothschild de que los ingleses, que Napoleón ha sido derrotado. Entonces, ¿qué hace Nathan Mayer Rothschild? Nathan Mayer Rothschild lo que hace es, viendo que como había ganado Napoleón, habían bajado todos los valores, intenta comprar todas las acciones que puede. Se arriesga con todo su dinero comprar todas las acciones cuando todavía tienen el precio muy, muy bajo. Luego, al día siguiente, 2 días después, llega la noticia de que la victoria ha sido de los ingleses y Napoleón ha sido derrotado. Entonces, en la bolsa de Inglaterra, las acciones vuelven a subir. Pero claro, como Nathan Mayer Rothschild las había comprado casi todas y a precio muy, muy barato, se encuentra que el valor de sus acciones ha crecido mucho y se ha convertido en el hombre más rico de Inglaterra. Y aquí estuvo el truco, que la información le llegó antes. Entonces, como que era el hombre más rico de toda Inglaterra, con este dinero, unas partes los enviaba a sus hermanos que estaban en las distintas sucursales de Europa. Les enviaba a Carlos, que estaba en Italia, se las enviaba a Salomón, que estaba en Austria, en Viena, se las enviaba a Jacob o a James, que estaba en Francia, y se las enviaba a Amschel, que estaba en Alemania. Una buena parte de este dinero. ¿Y qué pasa después de las guerras de Napoleón, una vez Napoleón derrotado? Las guerras de Napoleón han sucedido en toda Europa y los países y las naciones están agotadas. Se tiene que volver a reconstruir otra vez el país. Entonces, ¿quién es el que tiene el dinero? ¿Quiénes son los que tienen el dinero? Los Rothschild. Entonces los gobernantes, los reyes, tienen que recurrir a los Rothschild para que les dé dinero para pagar al ejército, para reconstruir el país y para lo que necesitan, para que se vuelva a crecer otra vez. Los Rothschild lo prestan como unos intereses altos. Y aquí ya tienen la garantía de que siempre van a ir ganando dinero. Con los empréstitos, con los préstamos a los gobiernos y a los reinos, a los poderosos, que tienen garantizados unos intereses, pues siempre están ganando dinero. Bueno, pues una parte de dinero también lo dedican a la especulación. La especulación, como ocurrió, pues como el caso de la bolsa de Inglaterra. Al recibir la información antes con los demás sobre si Napoleón había vencido o había sido derrotado. Esto es lo que creó especulación. Pero luego aprendieron la lección y fueron perfeccionando los negocios y también entraron en lo de las especulaciones. Especulaciones porque continuaban habiendo guerras, crisis políticas, problemas de todo tipo. Pero ellos eran ajenos a esto. Ellos solo iban a trabajar el dinero, la ganancia. Entonces, pues, con toda la red de espías, las palomas, el ser los primeros en que les llegaba la información, el ser muy discretos en que la información solo podían saber los Rothschild y nadie más. Pues entonces especulaban, especulación que se podía hacer en los alimentos, en la compra de armas por lo de la guerra, en la reconstrucción de los países, pues vencidos o vencedores, porque todos estarían perdiendo. Volver a reconstruir otra vez, en invertir en las industrias. Y esto, pues, hizo que se hicieran muy ricos. Eran los banqueros más ricos de todo el siglo XIX. Se construían unas mansiones que eran las más lujosas de la época. Una arquitectura muy bonita, unas mansiones que eran prácticamente unos castillos y como unos jardines que no tenían nada que envidiar a los del Palacio de Versalles. Por ejemplo, unas mansiones muy grandes, muy bonitas, con caballos, con todo tipo de lujo, con cubertería de plata, de oro, con obras artísticas de mucho valor. También fueron mecenas de muchos artistas, eran también muy filántropos que financiaban pues obras de arte, obras de teatro, científicos, en fin. También ponían dinero para favorecer a lo que a ellos les interesa. Bueno, esta es la historia de los Rothschild. Bueno, esto digo que en el siglo XIX eran los más ricos a nivel mundial y a nivel europeo. Luego llega el siglo XX. Y los judíos en todas partes del mundo estaban muy mal vistos, especialmente en Alemania. No olvidemos que el primer Rothschild era un marginado más en el gueto, en el barrio judío de Frankfurt, que es actualmente es la capital financiera de Alemania. Entonces, pues, claro, la película se rodó en el año 1934, cuando un año antes Adolfo Hitler había llegado al poder y él tenía la teoría racista de que el pueblo alemán estaba muy marginado, pero que era la raza superior. Y con otra raza que él la consideraba inferior, como son los judíos, pues claro, los judíos, como habían sido muy marginados, tenían que... se habían adaptado a una manera especial de sobrevivir, trabajar mucho, estudiar mucho, y por tanto se nos encontraba pues que los banqueros todos eran judíos, los magistrados de los tribunales eran judíos, los dueños de las principales industrias eran judíos, los que controlaban la prensa, porque en aquella época no había ni televisión, radio empezaba a ver, eran los judíos también. Los estudios del cine eran los judíos. Entonces, Adolf Hitler encontraba a los judíos como los causantes de la desgracia del pueblo alemán. Y los quiso excluir todos, perseguirlos. Y que los que llevaban a Alemania fueran alemanes, alemanes auténticos, alemanes puros, alemanes de raza aria. Por tanto, claro, esta película que he intentado rescatar se rodó en 1934, cuando un año antes Adolfo Hitler ya se había hecho con el poder, había llegado a ser presidente de Alemania, luego Führer de Alemania con una amplia mayoría en el Parlamento. Luego ya entrada la Primera Guerra Mundial, cuando ya había sido invadida Polonia en el año 1939 y Francia en el año 1940, pues por ahí en el año 1940 Adolfo Hitler encargó otra película sobre los Rothschild, seguramente desde otro punto de vista. Lo que está por ver, ¿qué película era esta que encargó Adolfo Hitler sobre los Rothschild? Porque ha estado censurada y nadie la ve y nadie la encuentra por internet. Pero sé que existe y seguramente algún día, un día u otro, saldrá a la luz. Bueno, pues después de esto, Adolfo Hitler perdió la guerra, buena parte de los judíos habían salido de Alemania, los Rothschild se refugiaron en Estados Unidos, en Francia, que en Francia también habían sido muy perseguidos por los nazis, y en Inglaterra, pues en Inglaterra tenía mucho poder los Rothschild. y como su especialidad es el negocio de la banca, volvieron a recuperarlo poco a poco. En Francia, por ejemplo, el último Rothschild, el barón Guy de Rothschild, pues cuando el socialista François Mitterrand ganó las elecciones, pues nacionalizó los bancos y esto afectó mucho al barón Guy de Rothschild, que tuvo que dejar ya un negocio de la banca. El Estado francés lo compró por no sé cuánta cantidad de millones y de aquí se acabó ya pues que los Rothschild se dedicaran a la banca en Francia. Ahora sí es verdad que hay muchos negocios Rothschild dispersos por todo el mundo, pero los negocios de banca más importantes de los Rothschild están en Inglaterra, en Londres. Entonces pues los Rothschild tienen mucha historia porque han sido los banqueros más influyentes, los más ricos, los más poderosos. Y esto pues tiene su importancia. Y por esto he querido rescatar estas películas para que no se pierdan. Bueno amigos, pues si las queréis ver, os la pondré a continuación de este vídeo, por lo cual mi vídeo de hoy va a ser bastante largo. Bueno amigos, adiós y hasta el próximo vídeo.
Mama, m'has explicat aquesta història més de 100 cops.
I encara creus que nosaltres no tenim res a veure en l'estadi.
Oh, per favor, què és el Barça, eh? Va, vinga.
Va, carinyo, que no ens podem deixar penjats.
Que no, mama, que jo passo d'anar-hi. Fot fred allà dalt i em fa pal. Més he d'arreglar la moto, que demà surto i no tindré temps. Ja pensem que fem fred. I dic que avui es trobarà clarament del centre.
Queda bien, ¿no?
You're lucky up time. The money hasn't come yet.
That road can handle. It'll be here in the morning.
Yes, but if anything should happen, all that money, 10,000 gulden.
Eh? So much this journey?
7,000 in one lump from Prince Lowenstein's agent, and then all the small sums, 10,000 at least.
Roads are dangerous. Tomorrow morning it'll be here. We should be thankful, man. Business is good, eh?
Nearly 1,000 gulden since morning. Mama,
Eh?
that agent, did you notice him?
What?
There he sat, sly and smiling, planning to rob this poor old Jew Rothschild. And here I was, so innocent, a little child, a baby in fact. And there was that fine old clock that his master had sent him to bargain for.
Yeah.
And when at last I let him have it for less money than it cost me, I could see in his eyes how pleased he was that he got the better of this little baby.
So what are the cost?
A spat to catch a mackerel, Mama. He thinks he's so clever, and I'm so stupid. Always make them think they're clever. Mama! I've been robbed! Bad! A whole garden! A dead loss! Bad!
Are you sure? Sometimes they're only crap. Right, man. Who gave it you?
Could it be that agent? And I gave him some wine, too. Some of the good wine.
Smile. You come again.
You come again. And then, Mama, I catch my mackerel.
Well, no one can ever say you don't deal fairly with your customers, Mom.
It pays in the end, Mama.
Now finish your accounts, now lay the stuff.
All right, Mama. Shan't be very long now.
The roast is almost done.
Smells good.
Huh?
Looks good, too.
Oh, quick, Nathan!
Papa, the tax collector. Papa, tax collector. He's down the street. Shut the door. The tax collector, boys. Mama, put away the silver.
I have. Don't forget to cut me down.
Oh, run away. What do you know about
Every day.
it? Take those hats off. Okay, Mama.
Yes.
Hurry up, Carl. Couple of James. Over the fireplace. Remember, no beer for the last 5 days. Understand?
Father.
Are you hungry?
Not so very.
Then look hungry.
Look hungry.
Amschel Salomón, you remain below. Mama, hide the roast.
Ahora, un 30% de descuento en tu seguro de salud y dental. Mejor así, Asisa.
Mama, take your strings. There. Nathan, find me.
Quick, get your hands out of the pocket.
Open up, Joe. Nathan.
Now then, Rothschild,
Why, it's my good friend, the tax collector.
bring out your account book.
Certainly, sir. Here it is. I was just looking over it. Things are very bad. I was saying to my poor wife, brother, this is our friend, the tax collector. Never have I known such a bad month.
No.
For 5 days, not one garden have I seen. Customers come, yes, but they don't buy. And no one's traveling these days, so my exchange business is worse than nothing. I shall soon starve.
Starve, eh? Huh. Something smells good.
One of our neighbors must be having a roast. Close the window, Mama.
What are you taking it for? Now bring out the real books.
Real books? Why, Excellency, I don't understand what you mean.
Rothschild, you're doing more business than any Jew in Jew Street. You're going to pay 20,000 gulden.
20,000?
Oh.
Why, a council of the big merchants in the city doesn't pay as much as that.
That's another matter. He's outside the ghetto.
Oh.
He's not a Jew.
Oh, if you were going to kill me this instant, I could barely raise 1,000 gulden.
Upstairs. That's the house. Pull the bag apart.
I might perhaps raise 2,000 gulden.
Very interesting.
Oh, that. Nathan, lift up the trip door for the gentleman. Just some old stock. We have a little wine down there. Not very good wine, I'm afraid. Good wine costs money.
But no account books, no gold, no jewels, I suppose.
Jewels. I had to give up dealing in jewels long ago. It needs capital. Shall I lead the way?
You follow, at a distance. Stand up, Jew boys. Wine. Fill up a cup. Put that screen, Excellency. Do what I say. Oh, it has wine in it after all, eh? Slop. Yes, sir. That's what we drink. Ah. But there's some here that Father keeps for his special customers. Won't Your Excellency try it? Ah. Huh. You old fox. It's good.
Your Excellency does us honor.
Rothschild, apparently you've been telling me the truth. So do you know what I'm going to do?
No, Excellency.
I'm going to charge you 20,000 gulden, just the same.
But I can't do it. There's not that much money in the whole ghetto.
Rothschild, you'd like to pay only 2,000 gulden again, wouldn't you?
Yes, Excellency.
Now, what would it be worth to me if I put you down for 2,000 this time?
Very handsome present for Your Excellency. Say, 1,000 gulden.
Talk sense, Rothschild. I want 10,000.
Would you leave me and my family penniless?
With a great deal of pleasure. Come now.
Well, perhaps 3,000 gulden, but that's the limit. The actual limit.
I'll take 6,000.
Oh, well. I'll make it 5,000.
All right. Have it ready tomorrow. I'll call. And if any of you breathe a word, I'll have your house burned to the ground.
Boys, you did well. Nathan, you're a smart lad. That wine, Mama, you should have seen him. And after all, 5,000 gulden isn't as bad as it might be.
No.
But it is bad to have to pay away 5,000 gulden.
Not as bad as having to pay away 20,000, Father.
6 o'clock, all due inside. All right. Come on, let's get him. You like Latin? I'll let him go. Mr. Rothschild! Mr. Rothschild! What's the matter? What's happening? The man who was bringing your money from Hamburg has been waylaid by the tax agents outside the city. What? They heard he was bringing the money to Jew Street. They might have killed him, but he got away. He got away? With the money? No, they got it, Mr. Rothschild. They got the money. All of it? Yes, all of it. The other 10,000 gulden. Our money that we worked for. Why doesn't the Almighty strike them dead?
Papa, don't get excited. It's bad for you.
Now listen, you are young. Your lives are before you. You've got to fight. Fight for yourselves. Fight for our people. Mama, I have to cheat the tax collector before my own children. Do you think I want to do that? I live honestly. I trade honestly. I want to be honest with them. But they won't let us. We are Jews. Taxed to death. Forbidden to learn a trade, forbidden to own land. They keep us in chains. They send men here to rob us. So work and strive for money. Money is power. Money is the only weapon that the Jew has to defend itself with.
Come, you must speak with you. All of you. We're here, Papa. All of us.
My sons, when I go, I leave you in your mama's care. She is wise, far wiser than I, and good. Do always as she said, and you will grow rich. Come closer. Much money is lost through sending gold by coach from one country to another. In times of war, it is seized by the enemy. In times of peace, by thieves. You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers. So that when money is to be sent from here to London, let us say, you won't have to risk life and gold. Amschel, here in Frankfurt, will just send a letter to Nathan in London saying, pay so-and-so. And that will be offset by loans from London to Frankfurt. Understand? Yes. In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe.
Papa, you mustn't talk anymore. The doctor.
I'm giving advice to our sons, Mama, that the doctor cannot give. Remember, unity is strength. All your lives you must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds. Our 5 banking houses may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family. The Rothschilds, who work always together. That will be your power. And when that power comes, remember the ghetto.
I shall be here. I shall never leave the house where they were all born.
Remember this before long. Neither business, nor power, nor all the gold in Europe will bring you happiness till we, our people, have equality, respect, dignity, to trade with dignity, to live with dignity, to walk the world with dignity.
Gran valira, l'hivern infinit.
Chicas, bienvenidas a las vueltas que da la vida.
¡Que nos bajes!
If Napoleon is to be beaten in the East, we must have 15 million florins immediately, and more later.
I think it can be done, Prince Mary. But I shall have to consult with my brother Nathan in London.
Come, Solomon, can't you decide now?
Your Highness is aware that the Rothschilds work as a family, and we've made Nathan our head.
Rothschild. There can be no peace in Europe as long as Napoleon controls Italy. 16 million ducats, as soon as possible.
If your highness will keep the utmost secrecy, I will endeavor to obtain the consent of my brothers.
You must realize, Mr. Talleyrand, how difficult it is for the Paris House of Rothschild to help the Allies against Napoleon.
My dear Monsieur James, I will be as secret as the grave. But we must have 50 million francs.
Visit honors our house, Count Lager.
Quite aware of that act for Rothschild.
There's no one to hear.
Only necessity brings me here. The armies of Napoleon are already in Prussia. You've got to have 5 million gold. Wipe them up.
I will consult, my brother.
Ah, that's nonsense.
It is an unbreakable rule, Your Excellency. The House of Rothschild never participates in a deal of this importance without the approval of all the prominent. That is impossible. My brother Nathan in London is permitted to make a decision.
Nathan, it may be that just one more loan will carry us to victory. You've been most generous, you and your brothers too. And I can assure you, sir, that His Majesty fully realizes that the House of Rothschild has already contributed 10 times as much as any other banking house in Europe. Captain Fitzroy arrived this morning from Wellington's headquarters, and he's told me how much the General appreciates what you've done.
Lord Wellington's language on the battlefield can't be repeated, sir. But I heard him declare that he wouldn't swap any one of those 5 Rothschilds for any 5 of Napoleon's brigades.
Now tell the Prime Minister you agree to one more loan. You realize, gentlemen, that the Allies are drawing on us throughout Europe? It's money that wins war. It's money that makes war. With 5 million pounds, we can hold Napoleon at bay. Mr. Harris, tell the Prime Minister I decline to raise 5 million pounds to keep the Allies fighting Napoleon. I'm sorry. You can tell Lord Wellington that the 5 Rothschilds will let him have 10 million if he'll guarantee to smash Napoleon. Oh, excuse my hat.
Lords and gentlemen, once more England is indebted to her greatest soldier. It is my privilege as Prime Minister to thank him on behalf of England for his glorious achievement. We rejoice at your safe return. My lords and gentlemen, charge your glasses. I give you a toast. His Grace, the Duke of Wellington. Who's got some snuff here? Yeah. Ain't going to be straight as forward. All right.
May I sit your hands over please?
Thank you. Here it is. Why wasn't Rothschild here?
Now, some feel.
Wasn't he asked?
Well, no, Your Grace. Some of these people...
Wasn't the man who played for these dash wars important enough?
It wasn't a question of importance. It
Well,
was...
if he can't come here, I suppose we can still go there. Yes, sir. Just as soon as I can get away, we're going to call on Nathan Rothschild. He ought to have been here. Dash, like I call it. More snuff. You know where the old boy lives? Very well indeed, sir. Oh, you got blackguard. I'd forgotten about that daughter of his.
Darling,
No, I'm not sorry. Not in the least.
neither am I. Just
I've been trying to tell you for a long time. I wanted to kiss you.
Yes, I know that. But when it came, it was so sudden, it rather frightened me.
Frightened? The captain of the guards to protect you?
Well, the captain of the guards is a very dangerous person.
Only to his rival.
You know, you're a very conceited young man. You haven't even asked me if I loved you.
Don't you?
Yes, I do. I love you more than anything else in the world.
And then tonight, after I talk to Duke in the bed, I'll call on your father. My speech to him is all ready. I rehearsed it not less than 1,000 times. The trees at night, the guns, even the horses. I haven't gotten a refusal yet.
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that.
Some of those horses are pretty difficult customers.
It's no use, darling. You're just dodging the real reason. You're being sweet and thoughtful again. But you're not making me forget that you're a Gentile now that you was... Think of the shock to our family.
There's no longer a family matter. Spitz and Dewey.
Hush. I've had that crowd at my heels all day. If they had any sense, it's you they'd be following around, not me.
Oh, we Rothschilds have had just as big crowds following at our heels in Frankfurt, but not with cheers.
Well, I'll cheer for you, gladly. And I hope one day Europe will realize he owes you something more than money.
Well, my father was a man of peace. He told us never to loan money to make wars, always to end them. And that's been our principle.
Everybody knows that and respects you for it.
No, Your Grace, they don't know it, and they don't respect us. Our bankers are jealous of us. The man in the street thinks we're just Sherlocks, and Europe hides its head for shame because it borrows from the Jews.
I suppose you know it's that Prussian fellow, Count Laderans, that's responsible for that rot.
I know. He hates me and all my race.
He's a proper jackass, Rothschild, and he ought to be hanged.
I must admit that the same happy thought has occurred to me more than once.
You know, it's a danger having a man like that in authority. Always making enemies.
Well, that's a danger. They may need us again.
What do you mean?
Well, perhaps we're not out of the woods yet.
Why, Napoleon's Scotch.
Napoleon's in exile, but he's not dead.
As good as dead, Rothschild. As good as dead.
Ah, perhaps. Another brandy, Your Grace.
Ah.
I often thought it would have saved a lot of trouble if Napoleon had been born an Englishman.
Where would I be then?
Why, he's commanding officer, of course.
Oh, thank you. Sound brandy you've got here, Rothschild.
To the peace of Europe.
Well, I'm a soldier, but I'll drink to that. I see, Rothschild. A little secret. Mind you, I oughtn't to tell you, but I just heard this morning that they're going to float a dash big loan to put France on her feet. An enormous loan. The biggest thing ever issued.
Yes?
Well, they've got to do something. France has had 20 years of war and the whole country's torn up. But now they've got peace. They're going to get together, the five allied powers, and help her out.
And the banking house that floats this loan will at once become the most powerful in Europe. Its prestige will be enormous.
That's it. how's your chance?
Your Grace, I can't sufficiently thank you for this information. Mind you, it's a dashed dark secret.
But it serves the chuckleheads right for telling me. They ought to know by now I can't keep a secret.
Send a message to Mr. Rowe and ask him to come to be here at once.
Yes, sir.
We'll drink to the house that floats the new French nose.
To the house of Rothschild. And its greatest member.
Ah, there you are.
Miss Julie.
Okay?
Mrs. Rothschild, you've got to watch this young rooster. I'm beginning to understand now why you were always asking for leave to return to London.
Now that you do understand, I trust you'll let him come more often.
It's against the regulation.
I only saw Julie 5 times, sir.
And once when you sent him the dispatches to the Prime Minister, Julie was waiting for him at the corner of Downing Street.
Then I hope you can the regulations, Your Grace.
Not if he didn't speak to you.
I didn't think you knew about that, Nathan.
Ah,
I'm afraid it's time to go, Your Grace.
All right. You can't fox this man. He's a magician. There's no question about that.
oh, I say, Master, I've been told you knew about Napoleon's abdication 2 days before the War Office did. Is that true? Yes, but then the War Office never knows anything but 2 days after everybody else knows it.
Yes, and then they take 2 more days thinking it over. But how did you do it? They say Indians get things by putting their ears to the ground. You are not an Indian, are you?
No, just plain Jerusalem, with a heart of gold.
Ah, well, I know something about sending dispatches. My man Fitzroy here is the best of that. But if I had 20 bitches, I couldn't do it in that time. You knew about Napoleon's abdication almost as soon as it happened. How the deuce did you do it?
Little bird whispered in my ear.
Oh, you don't intend to tell me, eh? Oh, I don't blame you. Fitz, we better go before he makes us disappear like rabbits in a hat. Mrs. Rothschild, you've a charming home. And a charming daughter.
Okay?
Hope that gets crowd scar. Ah, I get it. Are they still there?
And this is the man who faced the Grand Army.
Yeah, Fitzroy.
Yes, sir. Randy before the charge always.
Ah, there's military tactics for you. There's a young man who'll be a general someday.
Thank you. I'll go back outside. And remember, it's a dashed dark secret.
1,000 thanks, Sir Race. There he goes, longing for the peace and the quiet of the battlefield. Yes, sir.
Mom. Mom, I have to be very happy, but I'm not quite. What is it, dear? This place is no great business at all. Just years and mine. But it's this wretched family I'm thinking of. You know, Mother, nearly all of his aunts are duchesses and countesses, and oh, I'm so afraid they'll turn up their noses.
He doesn't object to our money, I hope.
No. Duchess money don't look there.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Mother, please don't make it fit like that. Please don't. You're hurting her, Nathan. Isn't that rather cruel? Well, it's my fault. I never told Father I really care as much as I do.
And you didn't either of you think I knew. We businessmen are not supposed to notice unimportant things like daughters and wives. You should know better than that.
Well, I knew she loved me. But we don't tell you when you've got to know things better.
Julia, you know the tradition of our family. A Rothschild to marry a Rothschild.
But I wasn't a Rothschild, Nathan.
You were Hannah. And you were one of our race.
That's what frightens me, Mom. These dreadful prejudices. Could we bear it? Let's bear it.
I won't pretend, Julie, that I wouldn't rather you married one of your own people.
It's a cruel barrier.
Yeah. But the world's changed a bit, especially in England. There's no Jew street here. And they're lifting other chains from us, too. So, perhaps...
Oh, no, don't say perhaps. Say yes.
What do you think, Hannah?
I think girls should be allowed to make their own choice.
Ah, I'm not sure that I agree with you.
Oh, but this girl, Father.
Well, it's about the first time that I've known a Rothschild to make a bad bargain. You are a Rothschild. And the Duke of Wellington has told me that the Rothschilds did a great deal for Europe during the war. Now, what have your Fitzroys done? Nothing. Beyond repeatedly getting leave of absence from duty and showing an unaccountable interest in orchids.
And a remarkable taste in women.
That doesn't show strength of character. Any fool could fall in love with you.
Oh, but not any fool could get your consent.
He hasn't tried
But he
yet.
will. When he does, you'll see him. Oh, you darling.
Yes, Rose, to be positively shocked.
Don't go, Julia.
I'm engaged.
Where are you going, Julie? I'm going out to the opera house. Look at the opera.
Right. I sent for you because I have tremendous news. This message must go to each of my brothers at once. I want His Grace calls our magic. Great news. Yes, indeed.
Let me have the earliest possible date on which all private loans can be recalled. Give instructions to grant no more private loans until further notice.
I must know at once the exact extent of our available capital.
The most important deal the House of Rothschild has ever attempted.
Oh, let me look at it. Oh, you really look so very nice. I'm sure I don't have to refuse you anything you ask.
I'm not depending entirely on my profile. Where's my hat?
Oh, the carriage hasn't come yet?
I'll take a hat.
That's what I like to do. It always makes me feel so independent. Sure you won't let me put a little perfume on your handkerchief?
Quite sure.
You're so calm. Aren't you excited at all about getting this great loan? Who'll do that?
Representatives of all the big banking houses in Europe. Baring will be there, of course.
And the ministers of the countries interested, I suppose.
I suppose so. Legrand representing Prussia, Metternich from Austria, and the rest of us.
Still, you feel pretty sure, sir, don't you?
Sure, half of it anyhow. I have private information that ours was the best bid.
The largest loan in history. You know it's the proudest day of your life.
The proudest day of my life happened 30 years ago.
I shan't throw an easy breath.
Don't worry. When I said that no other banking house in Europe can match our bid, I'm not guessing, I know. Now where's my
On
hat?
your head, I believe.
Where it should be.
Well, it shouldn't be in the lady's presence.
I beg your
To Downing Street and victory.
Goodbye.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir. But, Mr. Rothschild, even your daughter, Miss Julie, pays me more than this.
Surely has a very rich father, I haven't. Stimula, Mr. Archer, how do you do? Very well, sir.
Oh, Rothschild.
Hello. Am I too early or too late?
Early. They're still in the conference room.
Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Barry.
The meeting is called to order. Gentlemen, bids for a French loan for 450 million francs to be received and recorded. Offers to take all or a part of the issue of bonds, the greatest single issue in the history of European finance, were received from the following banking houses. J. Lafitte and Company, Paris. Gay Moulin, Vienna. Hope, London. Bertrand de Lis, Madrid. Baring and Company, London. It is the decision of the conference that the highest authoritative bid is that of Baring and Company, London. They will be awarded 3/4 of the issue at 71. There being no further...
But you're mistaken, Mr. Harris, there is.
Mr. Nathan Rothschild.
I'm compelled, my lords and gentlemen, to draw your attention to what must certainly be an oversight.
I regret to say, Mr. Rothschild, the decision must stand.
With my house sending its bid to take the entire issue, and our price was a point better than Mr. Barry's. Why is that not recorded?
Perhaps Count Legrand would like to explain the situation to Mr. Rothschild.
Your Excellency.
Your bid was received, Mr. Rothschild. But to put it as delicately as possible, it was thrown out, shall we say, on a technicality.
A technicality? What am I to understand by that?
You are at liberty to give my statement any interpretation you choose.
You mean, in brief, I am a Jew.
Likewise, in brief, I do.
Gentlemen, I must accept your decision. that since Count Legrand's has been frank enough to admit the reason for our exclusion, I venture to advise him that these attacks on my race are ignorant and futile. He may strike and strike again. A Jew falls, 1,000 are wounded, but the race lives on. But unfortunately for His Excellency, we are evidently eternal. Mr. Hayes, you say that Bearings take 3/4 of the load. May I ask who takes the other 4?
That is being taken up by Count Legrand, Prince Metternich, Count Talleyrand.
I see. A family party. Good day, then.
Your luck is out, Mr. Rothschild.
Father! Well, Father, what news? How stands the house of Rothschild?
Well, they've been throwing stones at it, and I'm afraid some of the stones went wild, and it's usual.
What do you mean?
I've just come from a meeting of men in society, the kind of society to which Fitzroy belongs. And they stoned me because I'm a Jew.
Fitzroy isn't that sort.
Julie, you must give him up.
Give him up. I can't.
I know best.
But you don't love him, I do.
Will he continue to love you?
Father, this isn't like you. You've always fought for what you wanted and got it. Well, perhaps I'm a fighter too.
This fight's been going on for 2,000
But
years.
things are changing. You said so yourself.
I was a fool. I thought we'd swept away these prejudices, but I was a fool.
Fitz knows what he's doing. We talked and sing all over. We're ready to face the consequences.
While you're young, but what are the years to come?
There's no one else in the world for me but this, and I won't give him up.
Well, Nathan, what is it? They didn't outbid you.
Yes, my bid was thrown out on a technicality.
Technicality?
Because I'm a Jew. They did me a great service. They showed me just how they were going to behave to Julie if she married into their set. You'll do as I bid you.
I'll try, Father.
Nathan, what have you said to her? You can't ruin their lives.
No, I'm going to save them. Hannah, she mustn't continue to see this man. You must get her away.
But where?
Take her to Frankfurt and take her west.
Excuse me, sir. I heard the result of the meeting and came to offer my sympathy.
Oh, thanks. If you have any spare sympathy, you might keep a little in reserve for Baring, Legrand's and company.
I don't think they need it, sir.
No, they may later. You realize that Legrand's, Metternich, Talleyrand, and the rest of the party are taking a fourth of this loan without a penny between them?
But they'll make millions on the ride.
Ah,
He's tired.
Perhaps I'd better call again later.
Rod, if you could buy government 4% bonds at 60, would you pay 74 for them?
No, sir.
Would you, Hannah?
Goodness me, no.
I thought not.
Nathan, what's in your mind?
Murder. Hannah, I'll tell you exactly what's in my mind. And this may interest you too, Robert. Baring and those others headed by Legrand's are taking this new loan at 71. On the first of the month, they're going to offer it to the public at 74. It pays 4%. But there is already in existence a previous government bond which also pays 4%, of which we have a large holding. This bond is now sitting at 73. Hannah says I'm tired, but I'm not too tired to realize that if the public can buy one government bond for 73, they won't buy a new issue bearing the same interest for 74.
That's true, sir. But Baring and the
Well, the bankers will run up the old bonds, and when they rise to about
I know
75...
what you're going to say. I mean, the old ones rise, and then launch the new ones a point lower, and the public rushes in.
Why so, sir?
But suppose there is no rise. Suppose somebody pricks the balloon and it doesn't go up. Suppose before they can run it up, somebody else begins to run it down. Suppose for the first of the month, these old bonds now selling at 73 should fall down to 63. Then they couldn't possibly launch the new loan at 74 because nobody would buy it. And Baring and Ladrans and his little band of bankrupt brigands will wait for it to go up. But suppose instead of going up, it still goes down to 55, to 50, to 45, to 40, where they'll never be able to launch the loan at all. And by God, that's where it's going.
Look at Rothschild. You'd think he was selling apples instead of government bonds.
Bonds are now 53. All right. I'll keep on selling till I tell you to stop.
You're creating something like a panic on the exchange, sir.
I know. What kind of flowers is this Hannah gave me this morning?
I don't know, sir.
Very pretty. Smells nice, too.
Mr. Rothschild, do you know what you're doing to the market? What have you heard?
I guess I don't hear things, I just imagine them. You know what kind of flowers, you know?
No. 52! 52! That means I'm down about 25 million francs. And you're the same, Legrand. Can't something be done to stop him, Baring? You're the biggest banker in England. Are we all to be ruined by the gymnastics of a dirty Shylock? I throw the entire resources of Baring's bank into the pool, but I can't stop it. He's got us on the run.
Right? I bet you half a crown that Baring makes straight for this post within 2 minutes.
I'll take you, sir.
I'm tired of losing money. I'd like to win some.
You are a magician, sir. Here he is. Mr. Rothschild, I don't have to tell you it's nothing less than slaughter. You know my position. I'm responsible for this new issue at 71, and you're making it impossible for me to put it on the market.
We're both bankers. You knew I ought to have had a share of this loan. Why did you shut me out?
Certain pressure was brought to bear on me.
Ha! Ladrans.
Well, yes.
And let Ladrans speak for himself. All right, Miss Baring. I'll come. I'll follow you.
Y Nico, eficaz desde el día 1 contra síntomas de la gripe y el resfriado.
About how much has this been cost us up to now?
About £5 million.
All right. We'll make 10. I hope I haven't kept you waiting, gentlemen, because I know you must all be very busy.
We sent for you, Rothschild, to make you an offer. You resent being left out of this loan. Mr. Baring, as you know, holds 3/4 of it. He is prepared to part with half of that to you. Will that satisfy you?
What about the other quarter?
That, as you know, is held by us.
Oh, yes, you bought it at 71.
Well, we're responsible for
You bought it at 71.
It was allotted to us.
Not against your will, I hope.
Certainly not.
So you bought it at 71.
it. What do you mean, bought it?
And you paid for it at 71.
You know perfectly well that nobody's prepared to pay in full for an entire issue.
We're prepared to pay anything. Could you have stood a 10-point drop? No. You're looking for a raise. You're financially irresponsible, the whole lot of you, except Mr. Baring. Well, I know just how much money you've got each one. And if I like to hold down the market till after the first of the month, and I can, you're all ruined and dishonored, including Baring's bank. Now, I'll rescue you on one condition. That you pass me the entire issue at 68.
That's impossible. Now, what excuse can we offer to the public?
This sale was found necessary.
On what ground?
Oh, on a technicality.
No.
Very well.
Wait, please.
We have to deal with Mr. Rothschild. Under the circumstances, I consider his offer a generous one. And as the head of the House of Baring, I insist on Mr. Rothschild's terms being accepted.
What? Are you going to take it off our hands, Rothschild? That's uncommon good of you.
I found Mr. Rhodes. Are you also on the preferred list?
Yes, but I much prefer to be off of it.
Well, we've no choice.
I accept.
I say yes without hesitation.
Confidence?
Very well.
To save time, I had this little contract drawn, which I shall ask you gentlemen to sign.
You seem to have been very sure of yourself.
I was. Quite. Will you sign first?
You won your fight with me, Jew. But remember, victory may be bought too dearly.
Late rats.
What are you going to do, sir?
I'm going to Frankfurt. I'll leave within an hour.
Come, Mama. You know the doctor's doing everything he can for you.
Yeah, you must remember, Mrs. Rothschild, you are 88 years old, and I can't make you any younger. I'm not asking you to make me any younger, I'm asking you to make me older.
She's better. She's insulting people.
There's nothing the matter with her, just nerves. Nerves? Do you think I'm afraid of that, Ronald? I've had 88 years of this, and I'm not dead yet.
But we want you to come away with us for a few months. You're not safe here.
I was born here, and I'll die here. That won't be soon, either. I'll live a dozen years yet. Nathan, you ought to know enough about bargains to know the Lord isn't going to take me at 88, but he can get me at 100. Well, Nathan, what brought you here all of a sudden?
He came to see his wife and family.
What's he doing that girl of yours? She's going mewing about like a cat that's lost execution.
She needs a change.
She needs a husband, that's what's matter with her. What about one of those Schmidt boys?
I'm afraid Julie has ideas of her own.
Leave her alone. She's no fool.
Can you tell me which is the Rothschild house?
Yeah.
That's it.
the use of our pretending?
I don't pretend to Father. He knows exactly how I feel. But you see, darling, he's determined too.
Did you know we can't give each other up? Sending you away probably only makes matters worse. Did you tell him you'd give me up?
I told him I'd try. I don't seem to be trying very hard, do I? Let me look at you. How long did it take you to get here? How long have you been riding?
I left yesterday morning.
How'd you manage?
I asked Nosy for leave.
Who's Nosy?
Oh, that's me going to do behind his back.
Oh.
I think he guessed where I was bound for. Anyhow, he said yes. Of course, I had no idea your father was here.
No, of course not. What are we going to do?
I'm going to see if we can have it out. Oh, darling. Won't you see this through with me somehow?
I've got you and I'm going to keep you.
And will you be very brave? A soldier. And wear this ring.
Oh, yes.
It's one of those family things. My mother wore it.
Oh, it's lovely.
What's the meaning of this?
Father, this is only just right. I saw him and brought him here.
Does your mother know?
No. No, nobody knows but us.
Why are you here? You knew my wishes?
I came here for the same reason you did, sir. I heard there was trouble and Julie was in danger.
With your mother?
I'd rather stay and hear what you have to say to Fitz.
Please go with me.
It's no use, Father.
I had a good reason for keeping you and my daughter apart. I desire that you respect my wishes.
If Julie weren't agreeable, I wouldn't be here, sir. But her happiness is involved as well as mine.
Unfortunately, we differ as to where our happiness lies.
What has changed your attitude toward me, sir?
Captain Fitzroy, I doubt whether there's a single man in London today who would suspect me of being a sentimental fool, which apparently I have been. Unfortunately, I have a certain amount of common sense, which sometimes comes to my rescue. You'll please understand that your attentions to my daughter are objectionable to me.
What is your objection?
You're not of our race.
That's an objection I think you might have raised a great deal earlier.
As a sentimental fool, walk through this ghetto, going to the Jewish quarter of any town in Prussia today, and you'll see men lying dead. Julie's people killed by your people, for but one crime, that they were Jews. Now do you understand?
I'm sorry, sir, but I still love Julie.
Julie is a Rothschild, and she'll not marry without her father's consent. Good day.
Fitz, no matter what happens, no matter even if what Father says is true, I love you. Always.
The Jews of Prussia know that this uprising is the direct result of your quarrel with Nathan, and that has made them bitter against you.
Wolves, Nathan has done more for the Jews in England than any man who ever lived.
England isn't Prussia.
Nathan has his agents everywhere. They spread lies and propaganda.
Got to put the screws on.
Money is the only screws we have. And now, with Napoleon in exile, Ladrans and the Allies need us no more. It's queer, isn't it? We fight for the peace of Europe, and with peace, we lose our power.
You've got to do something. They burned down the Levy's house last night, and they burned down this one if they dare, but they're afraid of me. You tell all those kings and ministers you feed that if they don't stop this outrage, you will stop their pocket money.
If I thought Ladrans would listen, if I thought I could make him call off his dogs, I'd go to him. But
Now, don't worry, Nathan, and make yourself sick. The Lord isn't going to desert us. So take a rest. Leave the work to him.
If there was only some way you could handle Nathan. For the sake of our Jewish people, I think you should go to him, Nathan.
grovel at his feet. All right. If you think so, I'll go. He must have his price. And whatever it is, I'll pay it.
I'd make you gentlemen pay for your wine.
Can't seem to favor you tonight, Your Excellency.
Oh, they sure would be. My card. Colonel, any news?
Good news, Your Excellency.
Dresden, entire ghetto reduced to ashes by fire. It's estimated that 5,000 Jewish refugees crossed the border into the Netherlands.
I dispatched 3 agents to the Hague to stir up the populace there.
Frankfurt. The citizens stormed the ghetto and fired 2 houses. The serious pogroms prevented for the arrival of the civic guard. Who ordered out the civic guard?
The Burgomaster, but he won't interfere again. We've explained Your Excellency's campaign.
That's splendid news, Colonel.
I have still better news for Your Excellency.
Yes?
Nathan Rothschild is in Frankfurt. He arrived from London last night.
If he tries to leave, I want him arrested at the border and brought to me here.
Yes, Your Excellency. Upon what grounds?
Make your own grounds.
Yes, Your Excellency.
The House of Rothschild. A house with the red shield. I'll make it red.
Excellent. One in the helicopter. Good answer. And I promise you I won't come back without an agreement from Netherlands to stop this pope, whatever the cost may be.
May God do it. Send word to stop his carriage as he starts to pass through the city gates. Seize him and place him under arrest. Quick.
Mr. Rothschild! Mr. Rothschild! What is it, Shimon?
The Smiths just arrived at the office, sir. From Mr. Nathan.
Again?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Napoleon has escaped from Elba. The French are rallied with banner by thousands. This means war, another war.
Now you can go to Nathan. Now he needs you. Under the hat.
No, I won't go to Latex. Latex will come here to the ghetto. Michael, bring my baggage back. I'm not going.
Of course, Wellington, I'm Prime Minister, but you're the idol of the people.
My dear fellow, I'm going to retire quietly to the country, surrounded by me dogs and me books and...
Yes?
Oh, His Grace. Ah, for me, eh?
Will you excuse me?
Yes, yes, yes.
God! That blasted little Corsican is back. What?
I gave orders not to be disturbed.
It's important, sir. Word has just reached us. Napoleon has escaped, and is in France mobilizing his army.
You're walking just like a young girl.
Well, boy. Yeah. Let's have another look at it. You're all growing up, aren't you? Nathan, I think you're getting fat. I'm proud of you. All of you. Your father would have been 92 today. Ours is the richest banking house in Europe and is still being kicked.
It looks as though we haven't played our cards very well, doesn't it?
Perhaps we haven't.
I'm not criticizing.
I think we're open to criticism, Mama. And that's what has brought us all together here today.
Oh, is it? I thought you came here to see me. It seems it takes a war and a Jewish pogrom to get us all together nowadays.
Now, that's not fair, Mom. You know
Well, don't let's waste time and compliment. What have you come for?
James.
Nathan, you run the English house, and so you have the sea between you and trouble. But we Karl and Solomon and Amschel and I are here in the furnace.
I know.
And with Napoleon on the map again, our position is intolerable.
Napoleon will be in Paris in a week, with the whole army rallying to his banner and deserting Louis. Napoleon's soldiers must be paid, and if he can't borrow money, he'll take it.
Has he suggested a loan?
Yes, he sent for me as head of the Paris house. I went to see him in Lyon, and he made a definite proposal. Now listen, Nathan, before you give an opinion. We've issued 450 million francs worth of bonds for a government which started packing at the first blast of a bugle. Napoleon guarantees the payment of these bonds down to the last centime, and on future loans he agrees to double the interest offered by his enemies. What have the Allies to offer us?
From the simple standpoint of business, we shouldn't hesitate a day longer. A refusal to support Napoleon means not only the probable loss of a murderous son, but James's Paris business, my Naples business, will be wiped out like that. And Amschel's and Solomon's are in great danger. It's no longer a question with me. We should support Napoleon.
As far as I can see, the Allies seem to be under the thumb of a tyrant from Austria and a scoundrel from Prussia. Metternich and later.
Mother has said we are still being picked. And she's right. For a quarter of a century we have stood with the Allies, and apart from what we got out of it personally, houses, fine clothes, carriages, as Jews, we are just where we start. In the Jew street, waiting for the chains to be put up. I agree with the others. We've got to transfer our support to Napoleon and start over again with him.
Now, son?
You're right, Oliver. Every word you've said is true. But still, we must fight Napoleon.
Why?
Well, because we're the Rothschilds. For the time being, anyway, we're something more than 5 rich Jews looking for the main chance. We know, the world knows, that until Napoleon is gone forever, there can be no peace in Europe for Jew or Gentile. You can't deny it, can you? We've got to take the risk. We've got to swallow our pride, stomach our resentment. We've got to go against every normal selfish impulsiveness and do what is right for the world. We can go hand in hand with Napoleon and spread this war over years. We can pay for fire and blood till all Europe is a slaughterhouse. And the Jew would stand as a pawnbroker in line. We can't do it. We will stand as we always stood. Not for war, but for peace. And if we all go down, we'll go down with honor. We leave no shame anywhere.
Son, that is what your father would have said.
You're right. I agree.
The House of the Red Shield, Your Excellency.
The Philistines are upon us. Who is he? Metternich, Talleyrand, and later.
Could that be the tax collector?
Something very like it, Mama.
Is Mr. Nathan Rothschild here?
Your Excellency will enter.
Bernard, this is a great pleasure. But how did you find your way?
The Duke of Wellington was kind enough to supply us with a guide, Captain Fitzroy, who has, I believe, been here before.
Won't you come in? My brothers and I were speaking of you only this moment.
Prince Metternich?
I won't burn you with introductions, except perhaps to my mother, who was startled by your arrival. She thought you were the tax collector, Count de France.
Well, to our tiptoe.
You will forgive this unexpected visit.
Certainly. We were expecting.
Then we may assume you know precisely why we are here.
not the precise amount, but approximately.
May I congratulate you on your brilliant son, Madame Rothschild.
Yes, I'm told I'm the mother of half the loans in Europe.
I am here at the request of the Duke of Wellington and the Allied governments.
In that case, my brothers too are interested. Won't you sit down?
We will not intrude very long.
Well, they're chained in at 6.
Speaking for myself, I admit that I come as a penitent. We've not always treated you quite fairly, Nathan, and now, frankly, we need you.
You should join Wellington on the field of battle. He once told me that the test of a great general is to know when to retreat and to have the courage to do it.
The Allies need money. Now, we're not asking you to give anything. You're money lenders, and you'll get your interest.
You sure of that?
Don't you trust the powers? No. Austria's bankrupt. France is already in the hands of Napoleon.
And so is Italy.
Why don't you go to the other bankers? Your own bankers. There's not sufficient cash.
You mean they won't take the chance?
What if Napoleon wins? I suppose there must be a certain amount of risk in your business. No, we ask security. What security can you offer us? Ah, then don't say you're not asking us to give anything. You're asking us to give a great deal.
I see no reason for prolonging this meeting. As you say, we are moneylenders, not philanthropists. We do it for profit. You may as well know that Napoleon has offered us twice as much as you could promise us, and we've decided to take his offer.
Gone over to the enemy, eh? I must admit, I'm amazed. How will Napoleon get the money to pay you?
Steal it. That's not our business.
I always thought you stood for peace.
For 20 years, we've been supporting the peace of Europe. Now we're thinking of the peace of our own people.
The Jew?
Yes. Napoleon will give us our freedom. That's why we are for Napoleon.
Is that your only reason for deserting the Allies?
I resent being cross-questioned by you, Count John.
I think His Excellency was about to make a proposition.
Oh.
Well, if we gave you all the freedom that Napoleon could give you, would you then be willing to sacrifice the financial advantage of his offer?
Nathan, we are moneylenders.
Come, Nathan, after all these years,
What do you offer?
what do you want?
Brothers, may I speak for you?
Yes, Nathan.
We require an agreement, a treaty, signed and guaranteed by your governments, giving to our people absolute freedom. In this agreement, they will lose their chains. They would have the right to follow any trade, to own land, to live with respect, and remember what our father said, Mama? To walk the world with dignity.
I fear we will have to lay that before our respective governments.
You are your respective governments, and you know it. The day this agreement is signed, the resources of the House of Rothschild will be at your command, and not before.
Very well, we accept.
Pray excuse this, my lords. Some Gentile has evidently strayed into our quarter.
Right, my question. Good idea.
Who's got my hat?
Oh, here you are, Father.
James.
Father, I'm drawing up the carriage with Michael.
James. It's of vital importance that we should have first-hand news from the field of battle. Somebody to be close to Wellington's troops. Who can we trust?
In time of war, nobody.
What about you? Will you do it?
Yes. I'll get word to you every day.
Every move they make, the instant they make it, and always by the usual method.
I've come to bid all of you.
Oh.
Won't that be a long wall with
It should be just as short as our money can.
luck. Bye, Mama.
It's a horse, dear.
This time I'm here by command of the Duke of Wellington, sir.
Give me the ring quickly. Darling.
Well, I must say I hope the entire war isn't going to be conducted on this romantic basis. Hasn't this right? I give Napoleon 100 days, no longer. If at the end of that time you're still alive, and you seem to be the type of young man that can't be killed, you can come and talk to me in London.
Thank you, sir. I shall count the days.
Nathan, the Times says there's a rumor that the stock exchange won't open today.
I wish it were true, but it isn't. Now, sit down. When people become rich, very rich, they have grave responsibilities.
I know.
I mean moral responsibilities that come with money that poor people never know.
Yes?
Could you bear to be poor? Really poor? I'm asking you now because tonight may be too late.
Tell me what you mean.
I'm buying on the stock exchange when everyone else is selling. I'm risking everything we have to save the credit of England. I'm sticking to the bargain I made. Things look bad for us, Hannah. Very bad.
Are you doing what you feel you should do?
Yes.
Do what you think is right. And if you fail, I love you all the more.
And whatever happens, with your love and your flower in my buttonhole, I'll still be the richest man in the world.
Father, Mr. Roth's phone message. May we hear it?
It just came. I thought you should have it before going to the exchange. Napoleon has thrown entire Grand Army against Wellington. James.
Worse and worse.
Poor Julie. These are hard times for young lovers.
Father, you said you gave Napoleon 100 days. This is the 100th day. So it hasn't come back to me.
Remember, I'm a magician. My day may be over, know there's a message of love and hope on its way to you.
Am I to continue to buy? Yes. But it's sheer suicide, sir. I support the market. But we can't possibly keep it up, sir. How long? It's 2 hours to closing time. Can't hold on for 2 hours. Then stop this insane buying. No. I made a deal with Legrand and the rest, and I won't go back on my word. Buy it or we'll break. But do you realize, sir, that you're holding more than any man ever held in the history of the stock exchange? We've picked our horse, we'll back it with drops. But here are messages from your brothers begging you to hold back. You're alone in your judgment. I am blind. Where will Europe be if England is bankrupt? And if I can't hold the market, England's credit is gone. But no one man can hold the nation's credit single-handed, Mr. Rothschild. One man can try. I'm fighting the only way I can fight, with money. I'm giving all I've got to give for the peace of Europe. And whatever other English will do tomorrow, I buy today. Mr. Rothschild, forgive me, but while rumors reach the exchange that Wellington has been defeated, it can't be true. I should have heard long ago. We owe so much to you. Will you do one thing more? Come and show yourself on the exchange. They say you're ruined and dare not face the music. There's a wild panic. Your presence may steady the market. I come. Too late, Rothschild. You backed the wrong horse this time. Rothschild, you've lost your luck. Michaels. Hi. Yes, hi. Do you have any news? What do you think about this rumor? I don't listen to rumors, Miss Baird. You hear what they say? Wellington defeated. You might tell me what you're going to do. I have no objection to all women knowing what I'm going to do. I'm fine. Mrs. Rothschild asked me to give you this. Did she come here at the exchange? So? Yes. You ever see such a cold-blooded fish? Puts a flower in his coat as he stands on the scaffold with a rope around his neck. News. Just right. Wellington victorious, Waterloo. Only undefeated. The war is over. Everyone, bad news. Yours from Waterloo. A
Oh, yeah, Miss Beaton. You get out of line. Don't play tricks on us. What's that? Electro. Wellington has gone in one more. Where? How did you get the news here? How did you get the news? I'll tell you, Pigeon. My pigeon post from the battlefield. Now you know our secret. Now will you buy? Buy with every security you have. Buy without security. Buy with the program of death.
Oh, Mr. Rothschild, do tell me how it feels to be the richest man in the world. One has to be very clever to make a fortune these days.
Yeah, perhaps, but far more clever to keep it.
Really? Well, I wish you'd tell me how to make money on the stock exchange. What's the recipe?
Oh, same as for a cold bath. Quick in and quick out.
Take your hands out of your pockets.
And strange, isn't it? That young people like that should be just as interested in romance as you and I.
May I congratulate you, young people?
Thank you, Your Grace. Nathan, you're worried about something.
Yes, I am. I'm confoundedly worried.
What is it?
Well, Mr. Rothschild, my congratulations. Harry, George, just the man I wanted to see. I'm very worried. Which knee do I kneel on when I go before his right hand?